Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Maryland Day Ceremony. I am Commissioner President Randy Guy, and I am so pleased to welcome you to this event. A brief bit of history about Maryland. In 1632, King Charles gave George Calvert the charter for lands just north of the Potomac River on both sides of the Chesapeake Bay. George Calvert died before receiving the charter, so King Charles granted the charter to George's eldest son, Cecil Calvert, 2nd Lord Baltimore. The charter established a quasi-royal government, giving Calvert and his descendants the ownership of the land and waters and the power to impose local taxes, which removed these settlers from the tax rolls in England. So no citizens of Maryland was subject to English taxation, and the charter also gave Calvert the authority to create and consecrate churches. No other British charter had granted such complete and total power to the proprietor. In July of 1776, it was determined that a more permanent structure of government was needed, and so Maryland began drawing up the first state constitution. It went into effect in November of that same year. Those settlers who came here so many centuries ago were escaping religious persecution and saw this place as a safe haven. Although the pandemic has changed the way we do things, it has not changed who we are and why we strive. This area and this community remains a haven for those who seek a good and fulfilling life. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the virtual presentation.
Welcome to a celebration of Maryland Day 2021. This annual celebration is for all Maryland residents. Hi, I'm Arthur Shepard, Director of St. Mary's County Department of Recreation and Parks. Our museum division has the privilege and deep responsibility as a keeper of the birthplace of Maryland. The St. Clements Island Museum, formed in 1975, has played a major role in the Maryland Day celebration each year. Today's events highlight our commitment as collector and interpreter and presenter of the state's early history through exhibits, displays, and research library and public programs. Remember, come by and see us at the museum. It's open, and our water taxi is running as well. I want to introduce to you today our division manager, Karen Stone, as she'll be the MC of today's activities. Karen and the entire museum staff do a fantastic job preserving our local history.
Hello, I'm Karen Stone, St. Mary's County Museum Division Manager, and I'm so glad you have joined us today as we celebrate Maryland Day 2021. It was in the year 1634 that Father Andrew White and the initial English settlers first set foot on Maryland's shores, having sailed across the Atlantic Ocean on board the Ark and the Dove. After spending 8 or 9 days with the Virginians at Cape Comfort, they set sail up the Chesapeake Bay, heading for the Potomac River, where they continued to the Heron Islands. The first one they encountered, they named after St. Clements. On the feast day of the Annunciation of the Most Holy Virgin Mary, March 25th, they celebrated a Mass of Thanksgiving for their safe arrival, the first such service in this part of the world. When Mass was over, they erected a large cross which they had hewn from a tree. The leaders then went to meet with the chief of the Piscataway people and purchased 30 acres of land on which to settle. In exchange, according to Father Andrew White's journal, they presented the chieftain with axes, hatchets, hoes, and some amount of cloth. The first Lord Baltimore sent instructions with the English to practice religious tolerance. These instructions were codified in 1649, when the Legislative Assembly passed the Religious Toleration Act. It is this religious freedom, the friendship between the peoples, and the founding of what was to become the state of Maryland that we celebrate today. In 1916, the Maryland General Assembly officially declared March 25th as Maryland Day, a day to celebrate Maryland's past, present, and future. Thank you again for celebrating with us today, and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Thank you, Karen, for the invite. Thank you, St. Mary's County, for celebrating and inviting me to be here today. I am Francis Gray, the tribal chair of the Piscataway Conoy tribe. In my language, Nule Liptum Alipak, Kikayak, Demiske Nika Nukwe, Ne, Wanishi. Welcome everyone to my elders and my ancestors who have walked in front of me. I thank you. My ancestors have been here in the Potomac and the Patuxent for over 13,000 years and consider the western shores of the Chesapeake our traditional homelands. With one of the heaviest concentration of my communities and my family and my peoples here known today as Southern Maryland. History is an old word, but it's derived from the statement, his story. It is said, before one can travel forward in our world, or even truly understand why we're here today, one must at least understand their past. History is our mechanism for us to connect our past to the present. It provides us with a sense of purpose for who we are, a sense of being. I am grateful for our elders and our ancestors who had steadily in their efforts to ensure the continuation of our indigenous heritage as the original peoples of this land. It is my opinion, and I say so with conviction, they were extraordinary. They used their resilience to preserve our traditions, our customs, memories, while adapting to a new world, a changing world. Today, we're here to acknowledge one of many to follow, a changing of our worlds. Before Captain John Smith and Father Andrew White set forth into these waters, there were others. The Spaniards were here looking for resources, gold, minerals, anything that they could grab to take back to their homelands. And then there was others that came up, possibly traders that were in the Virginia Company. And they traveled and transversed up into this waters. And they started to provide and engage with my ancestors. Henry Fleet was one of them. He was captured by our people because he wasn't trusted, possibly, and he ended up befriending them. He was there long enough where he was able to learn our customs. He was there long enough to be able to speak the language, to be a translator, possibly. And it was here that Henry Fleet gave that information, provided the information to Smith and Father Andrew White. For if it was not for him, they would have never known where the capital of Piscataway resided in the waters of the Potomac. Today, we must ensure that we understand how we got here, to understand that this was not the beginning of a world altogether. There was a world already existing here. And it's here that we acknowledge a relationship that began with those people from far away and times of changing of worlds. I shall conclude with a small prayer to thank the Creator for today's life and breath within me and in all of us, and to look to the east as the sun rises to be able to ask that we have guidance on the path that we have chosen for today, so we may do so with honesty, dignity, and respect. I would like to thank Mother Earth for all that she has given us, and let her remind us to never take more than we give. Wanishi. Thank you.
Greetings and happy Maryland Day. My name is Paul Walden and I am the Virginia Governor of the First Families of Maryland. Our society is composed of descendants of the early Maryland colonists who arrived here in the first century after the English landing at St. Clement's Island in 1634, or is descended from the first Lord Baltimore. We are proud to be descendants of these early colonists, many of whom arrived here in search of more religious freedom, starting with those first passengers on the Ark and Dove who set foot here on St. Clement's Island. They endured many hardships in these early years, and we thus celebrate their bravery and perseverance today. They are part of the story of the founding of our great nation. Hopefully this time next year, we can all celebrate Maryland Day again in person along this pristine area of the Potomac River. Thank you again.
I would like to thank all of our presenters and speakers for being with us today as we celebrate Maryland Day in this most unusual way. And I would also like to thank you, our audience, for joining with us as we've celebrated today. And if you could, please rise as you are able and join Father Andrew White in the benediction.
God give thee good day on this, our celebration of the anniversary of the founding of the colony of Maryland. In nomine Patris et Sancta Maria Mater Dei, et Saint Macarius, et Sant Ignatius, et omni angelis Marylandus. Amen. Te benedictat tibi Dominus et salvum. Vade ad Deum. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.